Somewhere out there right now, someone is standing in the wreckage of something they spent years building. A marriage that ended, a business that folded, a diagnosis that rearranged every plan they had. And in that first flat, grey stretch afterward, the thought that shows up almost every time is some version of the same sentence. I have to start over from zero. There's a version of that thought worth catching before it takes hold though, because it's not actually true, and by the end of this, you'll see exactly why. Start with what starting over usually feels like from the inside. It feels like standing in an empty room where a life used to be. The job title's gone, the routine's gone, the person you built a decade around is gone, and the mind, doing what minds do, immediately starts totaling up the loss, cataloging everything that's missing, arriving at a number that feels like zero, or worse than zero. Because there's grief sitting on top of the emptiness too. It's a completely reasonable place to land. It's also, if you look closer, missing something important. Take someone who's just gone through a divorce after 15 years. The house is being sold, the friend group is splitting along old loyalty lines. The future they'd been quietly picturing for the next 15 years has simply stopped existing. From where they're standing, it genuinely does look like zero. But sit with them for an hour and you'll notice they still know how to run a difficult conversation without losing their composure. Because 15 years of marriage taught them that. They still know how to read a room, comfort a child, hold steady under pressure, negotiate, forgive, keep a promise. None of that got divided up in the settlement. None of it was ever actually part of the marriage in the first place. It was part of them, built through the marriage, but theirs to keep regardless of what happened to the marriage itself. This is the piece that almost always gets missed in the panic of a collapse. The things that fell apart and the person who's still standing after they fell apart were never actually the same thing. A career can end, a relationship can end, a financial situation can completely unravel, but the specific set of capacities a person built while going through all of it, patience under pressure, the ability to read people, the discipline to keep showing up on bad days, the hard-won knowledge of exactly what they will and won't tolerate. None of that lives in the external circumstance. It lives in the person. And circumstances collapsing doesn't touch it, even when it feels, in the moment, like it should. There's an old Stoic way of thinking about this that treats a person's character the way a smith treats metal. The fire doesn't destroy the metal, it shapes it, and the shape holds long after the fire's gone out. Which sounds almost too tidy when you're the one currently standing in the fire. And it's worth saying plainly, none of this makes the collapse hurt less right now, and it isn't supposed to. But it does mean the math most people are doing in the aftermath is wrong. It's not zero. The outside part of your life got reset back to zero. The inside part, the part that was always harder to build in the first place, didn't. It's still there, fully intact, carried forward into whatever comes next. Think about someone whose business failed after 5 years of pouring everything into it. Every dollar's gone, the office is closed. The dream they'd been telling people about at dinner parties for half a decade quietly died. It's tempting and completely understandable to treat that as proof they don't know what they're doing, as if the failure erased the competence that got them that far in the first place. But the version of them who starts the next thing isn't the same person who started the first one with no experience at all. They now know exactly what a failing cash flow looks like 3 months before it becomes fatal. They know which hires quietly wreck a small team. They know how it feels to keep showing up to an office that's slowly dying, and they know, because they lived through it, that they can survive watching something they built completely fall apart and still get out of bed the next morning. That's not zero. That's 5 years of tuition that most people never pay, sitting there, fully paid for, ready to be used on whatever comes next. Or take someone who gets a diagnosis that rearranges everything overnight. The career plans, the 5-year outlook, the quiet assumptions about how much time there is to work with. It's a different kind of collapse than a divorce or a failed business, because there's no scaffolding to rebuild in the usual sense, no next chapter that simply resumes. And yet even here, the same math holds up under scrutiny. The person facing that diagnosis still has whatever steadiness they've built over a lifetime of handling hard things. They still know how to comfort the people around them even while frightened themselves. They still know how to find something worth laughing about on a bad day. Still carry whatever faith or stubbornness or humor got them through every difficult stretch before this one. The circumstances are about as external as circumstances get. The person meeting them is not. None of this is a reason to rush the grief or perform resilience before you actually feel it. Collapse deserves to be felt honestly, without a forced silver lining bolted onto it too early. But somewhere in the honest feeling of it, it's worth quietly checking the math yourself. What actually got taken? Usually it's the external scaffolding. The title, the routine, the shared future, the money. What almost never gets taken, even in the worst collapses, is the specific person who became capable enough to build that scaffolding in the first place. That person is still there, a little burned, definitely tired, but not actually starting from nothing. They're starting from everything they already learned how to survive. So the next time that thought shows up, the one that says, "I have to start over from zero," try correcting it gently, the way you'd correct any inaccurate thought that happened to be doing real damage. Not from zero, but from here, with everything you already are, still fully intact, still yours, still capable of building something new, because you already proved, in the wreckage of the last thing, that you were capable of far more than you probably gave yourself credit for at the time. There's a strange kind of relief in realizing this. It means the hardest part of rebuilding, becoming someone capable enough to do it, is already finished. You did that part already, without even meaning to, just by getting through whatever collapsed. You're not building a new person from scratch. You're just aiming the person you already became at whatever comes next. The life fell apart. You didn't. And remember, the version of you standing here, still breathing, still trying, already survived the worst part. Everything from here is just building. Thanks for watching this one all the way through. If it gave you something, hit subscribe and drop a like. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. See you in the next one.